Welcome to Am I Too Loud, the podcast.
Welcome back to Am I Too Loud, the podcast with Sophie, aka the mother freaking Odditty. Guys, by the time you're listening to this episode, it is June 1st, 2026. How in God's name is it June 1st, 2026? It was just January yesterday. In fact, I think it was just January 2 days ago. And I did not realize how much the year has gone by until today when I was writing the date in my journal. And I was like, 6-1? 6-1? Why does it feel like as we grow older, the years keep running faster? I feel like as a kid when I was growing up, it didn't feel this fast. It felt like life was going so slow. School was going so slow. And now, one moment you're sitting here living your best life. The next moment, you're about to the year is about to end. Before you know it, we're going to be saying Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Before you know it, watch. 6 months from now, we're going to be Happy Christmas, guys. And I'll be like, oh my God, guys, it's the end of the year is nigh. Isn't this scary for anyone else? Anyways, hey, Odd fam, welcome back. Well, hey, Pod fam, because some of you might not actually know about my vlog channel, but any other place around the internet where you might find me, Odditty. If you do not have any other place to find me, well, then this is where you find me. Then so, hey, Pod fam. But if you're an Odd fam, which is regular, can't speak. But if you're an Odd fam, which is the regular person who loves Sophie, hi, welcome back to episode 63 of Am I Too Loud, the flipping podcast. I have been meeting with a ton of execs, by the way, fun fact, around the podcast, and a lot of the feedback they've been giving me. If you're someone who's listening and you're starting your own podcast, a lot of the feedback they've been giving me is that I need to, first of all, slow down when I speak. Guys, did you know I spoke fast? I didn't know this was a thing. I was doing a showcase for my acting class the other day, and the feedback I got was, hey, you can maybe slow down a bit, taking the words, relax. You don't sound smarter or better when you're fast with your words. In fact, let your brain catch up with your mouth. And I'm like, you know what? They're not wrong. So if you feel like the beginning of this podcast is a bit slower than what you're used to, it's because Sophie's trying something different. What do you guys think? Does it feel like, it feels like before everything comes out of my mouth, I am taking the time for it to go through my brain, which you would be surprised I don't typically do. And maybe that's why whenever I see some clips online of me, I'm like, what in God's name possessed me to film that way? And I never regret anything I post online, by the way. Fun fact again, I never regret anything I post online. So I'm not necessarily worried about what I post, but I always sometimes go, oh my days, what was I thinking? Or maybe I should have said that better. If I just allowed my brain to think for a minute, I would have set that better up. The point would have come across a bit better. So anyways, we're trying something different this episode. Let me know if you like it. It's June 1st. I am currently in New York City. You guys are going to be the first people to know this. I toured apartments today. I did not re-sign my lease for my apartment. It's almost a year now. I was telling one of my friends today, actually, I was telling her that, hey, it's actually been almost a year since I have not had an apartment. And I've sort of been traveling, staying with friends, hanging out with different people. I've not just had an apartment. And she was like, oh my God, it doesn't feel like a year. And I'm like, right? It does not feel like a year. It feels like not a year. It does not feel like. If you're just listening to the podcast, hi, my name is Sophie. I put all my stuff in storage last year in June to sort of travel around the world and do a lot of things differently. And that's pretty much it, actually. Nothing crazy. That's all I did. I just put my stuff in storage. Anyways, it's been a year since I did that. It will be a year June 28th. I think my lease ended June 29th. And I remember this because around this time, I actually went to Ghana for a bit. And then after Ghana, I went back home to pack my stuff. I then got COVID. So my birthday month as well. We'll talk about that in a bit. But I went to pack up my stuff. I got COVID. So I was in the apartment with all my stuff packed up, sick as fudge with COVID. I remember I recorded an episode of the podcast feeling so sick. But you're right. Your girl, it's been a year. And as I was reflecting on the year that has just passed, and I've been reflecting on my goals for the year, I wanted to have this episode as a diary entry for me. So one of the things you guys really love about my podcast is how honest I am and how reflective I am about the experiences I've had, and also just maybe the stories I tell you guys about my life and my past. And so I feel like this is a very important episode for me because it's like my coming to Jesus moment, honestly. And I feel like I've been having that coming to Jesus moment for the past, give or take, 2 months. So I have my laptop beside me, and I rarely ever use my laptop when I'm doing my podcast. But today's episode is going to be me talking about, or me realizing how I am kind of not living the life that I say I want to live. And I say this oftentimes. I used to say it a lot in my vlog channel, but there is a difference between saying you want to do something and actually doing the thing. And one of the biggest issues I know I have with myself, this is very much self-reflective, is I don't oftentimes get to the doing part. It might seem like I do, but it might just be me talking a lot about what I want to do. So I decided that for this episode of the podcast, I'm going to bear it all, and I'm going to share like a 6-month life update of where I am mentally, what my goals were at the beginning of the year. And I'll be very honest with you guys about the things that I've been accomplishing and things I have not accomplished. And I'm also just going to talk a little bit about like where my headspace is kind of at, because I'm not really in a bad place. I'm in a honest place. I've been very honest with myself about my shortcomings and then my successes at the same time over the past couple of months. And I think that's something that I have not really been doing. Now, I'm not overly critical. I feel like, let's just say this. I feel like on the internet, we oftentimes get a few different types of people. You get the folks you watch that are telling you, oh my God, life is so great. If you do these 5 things, everything's going to be okay. And then you have people on the other side who are like, woe is me. My life is not good. I'm struggling. Watch me grow it back. And oftentimes the people that are telling you that you should watch their life be better, their life gets better. Like you see the transition from when they are struggling to when they're pretty successful. Now, for someone like me, I think I live in the in-between of the internet where you see me struggle and then you see me fail and then you see me struggle again and then you see me like succeed. And then you see me struggle again, you see me fail, you see me succeed, you see me fail. Like I feel like that version of the internet exists and I enjoy being a part of it. I think that's why this video is important, because I think for a lot of people from the outside looking in, they will know me as a really successful person, which is true. I am pretty successful. I'm doing the damn thing. I have built a life for myself that I have not in a million years like thought was possible. So I am pretty successful. However, I am not perfect. And I say this to you guys all the time. I am not perfect. And I want to remind folks of that, because if I can show you the behind the scenes of my life and I can be vulnerable about the behind the scenes of my life, then maybe that will get you to understand that you're gonna be okay too. We're gonna be okay. Like when push comes to shove, okay, we're going to be okay. Anyone who's successful is not this magical creature who's just super disciplined and they just like what they're doing and they're just great with everything. Like that's not the reality. In fact, there are a lot of people who will tell you that the difference between being successful and not being successful is mindset. And I swear that is truly the difference. You have to, well, and also money, but if you grew up from like, I mean, honestly, there are people who have money who have failed several times. Maybe not even money. It really is mindset. Like you have to fully embody this idea that you are the shit. And if for you to be able to embody that idea, you have to also know where you are not the best and the places where you are the best. And I think for me, I oftentimes focus really heavy on the things that I don't do well rather than things I do well. So this episode is going to be me reviewing a few things that I know I do well and a few things that I don't do well. But also I want to be able to admit that the life I want and the life my habits are building are actually like pretty inconsistent. And I found this out, give or take 2 years ago. So here I am in my friend's place in Dallas, Texas. And before I went to Dallas, I had like a few ideas of the things I wanted to do. And I sat in that trip and I was just having a good time, hanging out with friends and everything. And at the end of the trip, I looked back at my notes of the things I wanted to do and realized I didn't do anything I wanted to do. I was busy. Don't get me wrong. I was hella busy during my trip. And I had meetings and work events and this and that. I had all these things. But the things at the core of me that I wanted to execute or do during that trip, I didn't do it. I didn't say anything about it to myself. I just, you know when you just think of something, you put it in the corner of your head, you say, hold up. I know this is, I'm going to put it in my pocket. And then I went back to Philadelphia and I spent a week there. And same thing happened. I had a few ideas. I have this notepad where I pull my notes in. I had a few ideas. I wrote it down. And then my week just continued to go on. And over the course of the week, I just felt like I was so busy, but something was missing. And at the end of the week, I remember looking at that notepad again and going, the things I said I wanted to do are still unchecked here. But there are things that I know I did the entirety of the week that made me feel exhausted, made me feel busy, made me feel overwhelmed, made me feel like I wasn't doing enough, made me freaking quit my vlog channel. So I took a step back and I was like, you know what? Let's actually look and see what's going on. And I don't think I'm failing necessarily. I just think I'm being like confronted by the truth. I'm like, you know that adage where they say like work smart, not hard? Like that's me. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I working smart? Am I working hard? What's going on here? I'm halfway through the year and I had to ask myself a question that I didn't want to answer. I asked myself, am I actually doing the things I said I want to do, or am I simply surviving? And when I realized, you're surviving, I said, it's a lie. 6 more months is not going to go by of this year. Is that even English? I think so. 6 more months cannot go by with me simply surviving. Something has to give. And that thing has to be something that would make me feel proud of myself for doing by the end of the year. So I feel like I'm in this really like strange stage of my life where nothing is like technically wrong with me. Like, in fact, guys, I'm gonna be signed with an agency. I am hitting my halfway point mark in acting school. Brand deals are coming in. Your girl is working a lot more, being invited to events. I'm contemplating doing a few things. Things are going really good for me. But everything also feels like it's asking me to be more honest with myself about where I want to go and what do I want to do. And that's very important. You know, I didn't ask myself that. I've not asked myself that in a long time. Like, I remember when before I started content, and no one asked me what I want to do. I'm like, I want to work for the UN. I want to work as a UN ambassador. I want to be a lawyer. That was my go-to response every single time. And after a while, they'll ask me again. And then when content started, I just was like, you know what? I just want to hit 10,000 followers. That was always my goal. After 10,000 followers, I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I guess I just want to walk on YouTube. And I would always I wasn't sure. I didn't have sure footing of what I wanted to do until recently where I decided, you know what? I want to be an actor. I want to walk on stages. I want to be a host. I want to be a presenter. I want to do all these things by God's grace. So once I not realized what I wanted to do, the question is, how is I going to get it done? And growth happened so quick for me because the moment I started saying I wanted to do all these things, I started growing. Thank God. I was getting blessed with so many opportunities. I was just feeling really, really good about myself. But then I realized growth in one specific part of my life was great. But when growth started happening in every area of my life, it started being, I wouldn't say it was overwhelming because I'm so blessed and I'm able to handle everything that is in front of me. But it was definitely okay, let's calm down a little bit. Like, I'm thinking about it like in my career. Like, I went from not being visible at all to being hyper visible. I was an on-air host for Macy's Live. I had moved to my dream apartment in New York City. I had been mingling and shaking my ass with so many different celebrities and creators. I was on panels. I was getting awards. Like, it was so many good things that were happening to me that my brain didn't even give me time to catch up because I was just like on to the next. I'm thinking about like my relationships and how I oftentimes would go and meet different sorts of people, been invited to different places, started building friends. I fell in love, fell out of love, felt betrayed, felt heartbroken, and all this is happening between the span of like a year, 2 years. wait, please, what's going on? And I'm thinking about it from like even finances. Like imagine going from only being able to afford Plato's Closet, which is a secondhand clothing store, to being able to walk into Soho, a Soho store. I forget the name now because, you know, that's how bad your girl got it. And drop 7 bands on the dress for a Met Gala pre-party, watch party, something. Who the fudge do I think I am? Like, that to me was something that, when everything was happening at once, I did not take the time to go, yo, what's going on? How do I feel about it? And I wasn't like fully grounded. So over the past year, I really think, as I've been doing a lot of reflection of myself, me putting all my stuff in storage and saying, let me figure out what I want, was me saying, if I remained in this particular position I was at, something wouldn't change. Nothing would change. And I will constantly still feel this pull to stay in New York and do the dance of what creators in New York have to do. So I said to myself, you know what? Let's put our stuff in storage and let's travel. And even within the travel context, I remember now, as I think back to it, that as I was looking at my vlog channel and I was looking at my YouTube channels and everything, I was like, I have been burnt out for over a year, over 2 years. And I didn't realize it. Like, I did not realize how my brain has been tired, my mind has been tired, my body has been tired. Like, guys, I am so exhausted. I don't remember the last time I felt like unapologetically myself, besides maybe 2023 summer in New York. 2023 summer, I feel like was the closest I remember feeling to like carefree. I haven't been carefree in a long time. And I think about this because as I woke up, like, every day I wake up, I go on my phone, I scroll on TikTok, I go on my calendar, I do my habits. And it feels like just me checking a list that I want to survive. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, because this is not a sad podcast, by the way. I'm just talking. Can I just say, can we say that? Please, yo, if you're listening to this, just know this is not a sad podcast, okay? Like, I need to be able to talk to you guys, and without you guys, you know, diagnosing me or telling me, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. We all know it's going to be okay. Can I please? Because as I'm about to share something right now, I'm like, I don't need the, oh my God, Sophie, go and pray to Jesus, or God is your strength. I don't need the Alhamdulillah, Inshallah. Oh, I've been so worried about it. Maybe you need to take a break. I don't need none of that. You know what I need? I need you to listen, and I need you to take everything I'm saying, look at your life, and figure out if you can take some things out of what I'm saying and apply it to your life and make it good for you. And if you cannot listen to this, like and subscribe, give me 5 stars on the podcast, and keep moving on. Capiche? Thank you very much. Okay, as I was saying, I think it was like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, where, trigger warning, I felt suicidal. And the last time I've ever felt suicidal was 2018 actually, when I moved from Louisiana to Washington, D.C. And I was in my graduate program, super successful. I was a graduate resident assistant. I had all these things going for me. I was really happy and really determined. I was just so sad. And it is crazy for me to think about how down bad I was. I was so sad. And I remember my recent experience of being in that really terrible headspace was me talking to my best friend about it. And first of all, I just want to shout out my best friend. I've known her since I was 9 years old, and there really is nothing she doesn't know about me. And she's always been my rock and my strength, and I love her so much. Anyways, I remember calling her and telling her I was feeling this way again, and she just said, Sophie, the way life is set up right now, I can't afford to buy a fucking ticket to come sit with you in your house. You either come see me in my house, or you stop talking this shit, and like, let's figure out how to make you feel better. And that was a wake up call, because I was like, people have problems, so what's my problem? People have problems in life. Please get up. Well, not that light, but I walked through it. And I walked through it because I decided to ask myself, what did I want? And one thing I wanted was to live. I really, really wanted to live. And the second thing is I wanted to find my joy again. I wanted to choose my joy again. And in many ways, I've spent the past couple of months looking forward to choosing my joy. I found the past couple of months to be interesting and exciting for me. And I'm now in that space mentally where I'm slowly but surely able to regulate my emotions in a way that I wasn't able to previously. I actually did a podcast interview. I was a guest 2 days ago. She asked me what's one of my favorite things or pieces of advice I would like to give anyone who listens to me or knows about me. And I said, the biggest power that I've had to learn about myself is regulating my emotions and making sure no one has control over your emotions but you. And understanding that your thoughts are not reality. Your feelings aren't real. You make your feelings real. You make your thoughts real. When you wake up every morning and you tell yourself, I'm going to have a good day, you will absolutely have to do everything in your power to have a good day. If an email comes with bad news, you determine how that news affects you. When a friend calls you and pisses you off, you determine how you let that friend piss you off in order to have a good day. Once I've, you know when you know this, like I'm not telling you guys anything new. We know this. We know all these things, but it's harder to see it in practice. So you have to be so intentional, like ridiculously intentional with yourself to know how you want to move forward, especially as someone who's growing up. I didn't realize, you hear this a lot when people talk about like our early 20s, how, you know, you're growing into your person. Late 20s is a whole different ball game because you're at that point where people around you are in such different stages in life. Like your late 20s show you so, like all my friends are in different phases in life. They're either married, so what they're dealing with has nothing to do with what I'm dealing with. They're dealing with husbands and mother-in-laws and father-in-laws. They're dealing with children, chasing after a 1-year-old. Some of them are dealing with job layoffs, like everyone is in such different chapters of their life and they're fully forming their own ecosystem of living that you're constantly having to look around you and realize that, okay, you got to get your shit together if you don't have your shit together already. Or everybody just feels like everyone just feels like they're chasing after something, like time is running out when it really isn't, right? But in this case, my time this year is running out. God forbid, okay, it's really not. But I mean that in terms of it's 6 months and I'm sitting here and I'm going, okay, I've done all this work at the beginning of this year and even every day to be the better version of myself. I'm doing the work. Now, the part of me that wants to follow through has to see what I am doing good at and what I'm not doing good at, which is something we don't oftentimes do. I feel like when you have a regular job, you're able to sort of like go to your job and find like a work assessment. What are the things you did good? What are the things you did bad? Your job like figures that out for you. When you are living your life like an entrepreneur like me, you don't oftentimes get the perks of having that, right? So you have to do it yourself. So let's do a 6-month reality check because I usually will do this on my vlog channel, but I'm still sort of figuring out what direction I want to go in my vlog channel because of so many reasons. Let's not get into that. But I will be back on that channel, I hope to God. Guys, let me just keep doing me for a while. Anyways, okay, so I have my laptop here. You guys can't really see it. She's down here. And I want to talk about like how whenever we start the year, we always have this energy. We're always like, we're going to do this and that. We're going to work out. We're going to just be yapping. We're yapping away. I said, okay, Sophie. It's oftentimes easier to continue the year with your goals in the back of your mind, but not fully checking up on those goals, because that means you have to be held accountable for those goals. What I've been doing differently every day is, first of all, making sure I'm keeping track of what I actually said I want to do, because that shows discipline, and also what things I'm falling short of, and if they're important for me to keep going. So, at the beginning of this year, I was very, very excited for this idea of a dream life. Now, one thing I would say is my biggest goal has still always been to be more disciplined and growing the podcast, showing up on YouTube, getting more strategic, taking acting seriously, staying consistent, taking care of my body, becoming the one I want to be, and creating a bigger brand for myself. And as I hit the 6-month mark of my life right now, I want to honestly tell you, I wouldn't use the word failed, but I will say I am definitely at a 45% performance rating. Let's do that. I am at a 45% performance rating for the year. Several factors influence this 45% rating. Let me know what you think in the comments. Oh my God, yeah, let's do that. Okay, if you're listening to this in the comments or you listen to it anywhere right now, because I feel like you can comment anywhere you listen. Comment what rating you're going to give yourself this year. Please, be honest. If you're going to give yourself 95%, don't think I'll feel bad about that. Let me celebrate you, because your girl is 45 and I'm beating my chest and saying 45%. And I'm working on getting better. Because by the time December comes around, now, I swear to y'all, if December comes around and I tell myself I'm at 55, I'm going to whoop my own ass. And you have every right to hold me accountable and beat my ass too. Because I feel like we're all in this thing together. Why would I not be successful? After all this yappy, I'm going to be successful. And then you guys are watching me and you're like, oh, look at this girl. I wonder if she's going to be successful. I have to be. Okay, anyways. 45% performance rating. So what we're going to do, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to put it anywhere on the screen. You're just going to listen. I'm going to tell you guys how I split my life for this year. I'm going to tell you guys what's been going wrong, what's been going right, what have I been doing. So I split my life into 8 categories. First category is fitness or health or habits. Second is skills. Third is learning. Fourth is financial. Fifth is social media / career. 6 is service and impact. 7 is personal. And 8 is friend, community, family / travel. Let's go into fitness first. And I'm just going to try to bulldoze past this. For my fitness, health, and habits section, I wanted to do a few things. I wanted to start meditating every day. I am on record to say that I have meditated. How many days has it been in a year? How many days has it been in a year today? It's been 152 days this year. I might have meditated maybe 52 days out of those 100 days. So definitely not fully at 100. Morning pages 3 times a week. I've absolutely done my morning pages 3 times a week. Ideally, I wanted that to be every day of the week, but I'm not going to lie to myself. But what I have done is I've not gone more than 3 days without missing it. So if I miss it the day before, I have to do it the next day. And if you don't know, morning pages are part of The Artist Way, which is a book I'm going to get into that too. But the morning pages are basically journaling. You journal 3 pages of conscious, free-flowing thought every morning. So I've been doing that. Drink AG1 daily. If there have been 152 days this year, I have drank my AG1 maybe 100 times this year, which I'm pretty proud of. So again, not doing too bad, but still there's room for improvement. I started taking vitamin D3K2 because I get migraines and also because I heard they're really good for you. Again, out of 152, I would say I've taken those maybe 75 days out of those days. Run 3 times a week. If out of 152 days, I've probably run 10 days. So that has not even happened. And which is interesting because I really thought I would be running more and I want to run more. I enjoy running. I love running. That's just the one thing that I keep falling short on. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm so frustrated at myself. And sometimes the excuse is I wake up tired. I wake up this, but I know people who run in the rain, in the snow, in terrible weather. So I'm realizing, and running I feel like is a metaphor. I'm going to go deep real quick. Running I feel like is a metaphor for myself. Because when things get really uncomfortable and hard, I tend to sleep. Yo, I like sleep. Please. If things are hard, I'm going to take a nap. Once I wake up, I feel better. I want to become the person that when things get uncomfortable or hard, I tell myself, let's go for a run. Do you know the kind of badassery you have to have for you to be going through it? For you to be sad and depressed and lonely. And for you to wake up and say, Jima soon, which means wake up, don't sleep. Let's go for a run. You know what it takes to say that and mean it? If I'm not I want to become that person. I will become that person. But for right now, I'm not that person. But it will change. Strength train 3 times a week. Definitely not done that. But at least I've been strength training a lot more than running. And I would say all these habits are dependent on the fact that I do not have a fixed place that I live in. So we're going to get to why that might be affecting a lot of the things with me. Read a self-help book a week. Who was I deceiving? Read a self-help book a week. I should leave this thing over. I hate self-help books. Maybe read a romance. I should replace that with like read a romance novel. But I've not been reading a self-help book. I did read The Mountain Is You at the beginning of this year, and The Psychology of Money. Those two books transformed my thinking, has helped me be. Oh, Sophie. So if those books transformed your thinking and really helped you, don't you think if you read more books every week, those will also help you transform your thinking? That sound, if you're listening to audio, is me banging my hat. I'm sorry. That was very mean to. Don't be mean to yourself. Why not? Why not? Why would you? Now you're gonna sound crazy. Moving on. Anyways, I did not read a self-help book. I might. See, now here's the thing. What would future Sophie want? Future Sophie wants you to read. So, okay, we'll read it. Okay. All right. One fun workout class a week. I've definitely not been doing this, but I started recently going to more workout classes. Been loving hot yoga, been loving hot Pilates, been loving anything hot in the name. I don't know why, but I started going to workout classes just this past week. But again, in 152 days, maybe I would say I've gone 25 times. Run another marathon in 2026. This is still a possibility. I'm thinking of maybe doing New York again, but in my mind, I'm like, why would I want to do New York when I could do another marathon? I did just walk a half marathon and I loved it. So maybe I'm going to try to do that again if we figure out running 3 times a week. Eat a protein-packed breakfast daily. If out of 152 days, I feel like at least 125 of those days, I've eaten a well protein. Out of those days, I've eaten a protein-packed breakfast pretty consistently. That's one thing. I love breakfast. I love breakfast. Eat 2 times a day, a healthy as fuck meal. Definitely have not been doing that. Again, everything about these habits require me to be in some way, shape, or form stable, and I have not been stable, which is important to know. And the last thing is no phones 30 minutes after waking up. This one I gave up on. I just pretend to myself that it happens. It doesn't really. Sometimes I try to stay away because technically I wake up at like 3 a.m. so I don't check my phone. Does that count? No, it doesn't. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, but I don't do it. I'm working on it. So that's already, do you hear what I'm saying? That already, thinking about the habits, is like, oh, all these things I wanted to do, I could do them. I'm just not doing them. So discipline is a huge factor there. Okay, we're going to go on to the next one, which is skills. One skill is finish a master class on hosting and presenting. I've not done that. Starting acting school, I really have started acting school finally, like a semester program where I am actually learning so much than I've ever thought I could even learn. So I'm really proud of myself for that. And the third skill I wanted to learn this year was take a storytelling course, because I feel like one thing about me is I don't know how to tell a story. I can document, but I don't know how to tell a story. So I'm working on that too. So again, the skills, out of the 3 skills I wanted to learn this year at the 6-month mark, I've only started 1. Number 3, learning. This part I think was because I realized that at some point in my life, I really missed the art of learning. Like I've stopped learning. So I said, you know what, let me put this and maybe make it a priority. One thing I wanted to do is learn how to act. I'm doing that right now. Learn how to be a successful YouTuber. Did not do that. Learn how to read a script. I'm doing that right now. Learn how to do your podcast. Doing that right now. And read 12 self-help books this year. Not done that. Read 3, not 12, but I feel like we have time to read 12. I think I can still do that for this year. So again, with learning, I think I gave up on the YouTuber one because especially as a vlog lifestyle YouTuber, I just gave up on it because I don't think I have the resources now for the things I have. Is that an excuse I hear, Sophie? It can be. Because I feel like if you really wanted to, you could. Shh. We'll discuss that later. Okay. Moving on. Financial area. Weekly expenses review. I've started doing that because your girl had to. Monthly check-in with my accountant. I've been doing that. I've been updating my monthly sponsorship tracker as well. Started a Substack. I have started a Substack. I don't know why I put that under financial. Oh, because I was supposed to get monetized. But I've not been consistent with Substack, which is disappointing. Monetized TikTok, monetized podcast. My TikTok is still not monetized, but it is my highest following, so I've been getting more brand deals through TikTok. Monetized podcast. I've sort of started monetizing the podcast. I got my first brand deal on the podcast last week or 2 weeks ago, which was really good. And the last thing on financial was start a Patreon, which I have not done. So also something to think about. Again, now you understand the 45%, right? Okay. Under the social media / career. Pitch to 5 to 10 brands weekly. Definitely don't do that. Have an edit with Airy. That ship is sailed. Work as a host with a brand or a show. Not done that yet. Host a red carpet event. Not done that yet. Relaunch the Odditty TV. Not done that yet. Focus on scripting YouTube videos, especially vlogs. Did not do that. Post on LinkedIn once a month. Did not do that. Post on IG, TikTok, or Snapchat daily. Definitely don't do that. Host a podcast live show. Did not do that. Go to London Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Lagos Fashion Week, or Copenhagen Fashion Week. Did not do that. Work with 30 brands this year. 15 long term, 15 short term. Did not do that. Do you see why I say 45% performance, service, and impact? Speak on more panels on the importance of being yourself. I did speak on 2 panels this year so far, which is I'm really proud of. Personal. Finish The Artist Way. The Artist Way is a 12-week course. I have not finished that flipping book. Get better with financial anxiety. I've been really, really good at that. Start therapy. Focus on sexual trauma and overthinking and self-sabotage. Ooh, I forgot I put this here. Oh my God, I don't want to do that. I need to. Start a hobby, puzzling, drawing, and ceramics. I bought a book for puzzling and another book for drawing. I've not done that. And last one is friends, community, family, and travel. Focus on prioritizing relationships with, and I inserted my friend's name here. I've definitely been doing that. Go to Yellowstone, if not done that. Go to Grand Canyon, if not done that. Camp for the first time, I've not done that. Hike up a mountain, I've not done that. Do a mommy-daughter trip, that is in the works. And sleep in an unusual place, I've not done that. Do you see why I then now say that I'm performing at 45%? Okay. Busy is not the same as aligned. Busy is not the same as progress. Busy is not the same as prosperity. Busy is not the same as successful. It's something that you guys say this a lot, and I hear this a lot, where everyone's like, oh my God, Sophie, you're always working, girl, you're doing all these things. And I'm like, yes, because my mind is always busy. I like my body to be busy. I like to be busy. But the hard truth to swallow for me is busy does not always mean what I think it means. Because am I doing a lot of things, or am I doing the right things? And if I want to honestly ask myself this question, I'm going to be very honest in saying that I don't think I'm doing the right things for myself. Sometimes I think I hide behind being busy and movement, and I'm working, I have so much going on. But it might also be that the things that actually would move me forward are the things I strictly avoid. Because if you look at the things, of course, now, don't get me wrong, I am doing so well. Like, I'm operating at 45%, but, I'm meditating, I'm journaling now, I'm drinking my supplements, I'm running, one way or the other. I'm inching closer to the things. But then the other things that, I've said this before in my vlog, passively living versus active living, right? It's this idea that you can go through life being a passive person in your life, meaning you just go through the flows of your life. You wake up every day, you eat the breakfast you're supposed to eat, maybe make a few friends here and there, do the same things. It's not necessarily boring, monotonous, but it is monotonous. And then there's active living, where each day is an adventure for you, where you're choosing to be intentional about the life you want to live. I think that I sometimes forget to actively live my life, because if I'm honest with myself here, it doesn't take much to run 3 times a week. It doesn't. It doesn't take much to strength train 3 times a week. It doesn't take much to finish a master class in hosting. It doesn't take much to learn how to be a successful YouTuber. It doesn't take much to start a Substack. It doesn't take much to pitch to 5 to 10 brands weekly if you prepare for it. And I've realized that. And it's also so weird, because when you're growing online, you're constantly turning your life into content, when you forget what life actually is for you. And that's an issue with me too. I sometimes forget what my reality is versus what my social media reality is. For example, all these things I've been telling you I've been doing a lot of internal work, and I've not been posting a lot of it, which is good. Something that I wanted to do for myself, and it wasn't for the vlog. I think that's why, honestly, I stopped the vlog channel, because I stopped my vlog channel because I realized that I really enjoyed performing for you guys, this idea of success. And I would only do certain things when I was vlogging rather than doing it for me. So me trying new hot Pilates, me journaling more, me taking my vitamins, me pitching myself, me doing all these things were oftentimes for the vlog rather than for Sophie. And Sophie needed the moment to find things that would be just for her. And so right now, what I thought growth was going to be for me was all the things I listed. I'll be waking up at 7 a.m. every day, going to the gym, clear calendar, like consistent podcasting. It was all these things, but growth is actually realizing what systems you need to put in place to make your life successful. Growth is realizing that you cannot sort of manifest your way without following through with the things you want to do. I can't simply say to myself, I want to be an actor. I have to be intentional about what that looks like and take those steps. This is something that I had on my mirror for the longest time. It's like my version of self-love is when I fulfill all the promises I keep to myself, aka self-love is discipline. If you are not a disciplined person, you cannot love yourself. And if I'm being super honest with myself, I sometimes struggle with self-love for me because when I don't follow through with the things that make me happy, I'm upset at myself. I'm angry. You can see it within yourself when I wake up and I'm like, I should have done that, but I choose to sleep instead. So whenever I tell myself, what will future Sophie do? It's a reminder for me that I love Sophie so much. I want her to be happy, and this will pay off in the long run, even if it doesn't seem like it right now. My dream life doesn't have to. It also is realizing, like, guys, honestly, your dream life needs boring structure. Like, no one would tell you this, but your dream life needs boring. Those moments when you're spending 3 to 6 hours editing, those moments where you're spending 2 hours writing a script, those moments where you're spending an hour brainstorming, those moments when you're spending 4 hours reading a self-help book, those hours where you're spending the time on the calls, trying to get pitch emails, those moments that are boring, they're annoying, they're frustrating, they're not the exciting stuff. Your dream life requires those parts too. The moment you realize that, you're able to be more intentional about putting those into your calendar, putting those into structured places in your life to make sure those are able to be done. And honestly, the last thing about what I want to say is, like, do you know those people, like, everyone knows that person who you're like, if only they knew their potential, like, they're such a light, like, they're going to be successful. That's me. And I'm still very successful, but I can do better. But it is more than a personality trait. It is an embodiment of the things that makes that potential a reality. So if people see me and they see my legs, this is so stupid, but if people see me and see my legs and they're like, oh my God, you're a runner, you're a track star. And I'm like, yeah, I could be. The potential is there. I just got to follow through with it. And all I need is that follow through. So I've been thinking a lot about, like, self-love, and I don't think, like, it's all about this bubble baths and, you're going to be saying affirmations and all this. I really think self-love is boring. Self-love is boring. It's messy. It's annoying. It's necessary. It's discipline. It's like when you sit in your bed and you're telling yourself you want these things, self-love is following through and doing it, even when your mood is changed. Like, there are days where I do not want to do shit and I have to get up and say, fudge it, let's just keep going. That's me. And that's self-love. Like, you have to fully love who you want to be enough to want those dreams to come true. Okay, so I've been asking myself, what do I want? And I want you to ask yourself, what do you want? Because we're at the 6-month mark of the year. And if you're doing really well, continue asking yourself that question. And if you're not, and you're just like me, what do we want? I don't know what I want. JK, I lied. I do. I don't know why I said I don't know. See? Therapy. But what do I want? I want to be disciplined. I know I am hardworking. I know I am capable. I know that I want to live a life of success. And for me to live that life, I want to be disciplined. So because I want those things, I'm putting a few things in place that maybe would help you if you're struggling like that too. So first things first is I have my daily habits on my phone, easily accessible. Every morning, I have to not be on my phone for 30 minutes, drink my AG1, take my vitamins, do my makeup. I have like all these things I have to check. And when I check up on it, it works. I have screen time on my phone to help me regulate how much time I use on social media. I have my Google Calendar with all the things in the spaces where I need to do everything. And I follow through on it. That is what I mean. There are times when I don't want to do anything and I decide to like tell myself, again, I've been saying this, what does future Sophie want? And how can I make sure she gets it? That is what discipline looks like. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's hard. It's really hard. Today, for example, I was supposed to have been studying for class because I have like my class final tomorrow and I just was not in the mood. So I took a nap. But I also realized that yesterday I walked for 6 hours and 37 minutes across Manhattan. I posted that on my TikTok and my Instagram. So it's okay that the next day I'm not up to par because I was flipping walking my legs out. So I needed the extra rest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm learning not to beat myself up when I don't do the things perfectly. But I remember when I was sitting there looking at my calendar, I was like, okay, I have to, record the episode. What do I need to do? I was like, maybe I'll record later tonight. And I asked myself, why? Why not record it now? And I set everything up and I'm recording right now. So discipline in that sense. And now I feel good. I'm like, oh, look at you recording your podcast, scripting it, drinking matcha. Like, guys, this is my real life. I don't know how to hide. I don't know how to hide myself from anyone. This is me. This is me, bare, as I come vulnerable and authentic in me. There's no AI. AI cannot behave this way. I will fumble, I will fail, I will fall, I will keep trying, and I'll be successful. It's inevitable. All these things I'm telling you is because I need you to understand that even at my lowest, the only reminder that keeps me going is it's inevitable for you. All you need to do is get up. That's all I want you to understand from this episode. I know it in my bones. I feel it. I am so confident that the life I am searching for is already my own. The life that I was searching for, I was already my own. Baby Johnny. Anyways, I want structure. Freedom without structure is chaos. And for someone like me who with ADHD and even anxious feelings, I should have known better that with the amount of freedom I was craving, it would all come crashing down if I did not have a level of structure to that freedom. And so right now I'm going back to the drawing board. It's been a year of being a nomad. What are the things I want to do? What are the goals I want to set for myself? What kind of life do I want to lead? What kind of example do I want to be? And once I answer those questions privately, you guys will have some answers, especially in my vlog channel. But I definitely want some structure and I want freedom, and I need to create the systems to hold the dream so it becomes the reality that I want for myself, essentially. And last thing is something that I think I've spent so long avoiding. I want to win. Like, I want to win. I want to live the life that I deserve. And I don't understand whether it was I think it might have been my upbringing. This idea that, I don't even want to say I didn't work. I'm thinking through this. I didn't plan to think about it in this way. But I feel guilty when I'm successful. I break my back for people who treat me like shit. I don't take care of myself. I prioritize other people over myself. I love other people more than me. I show up for other people more than I show up for myself. And in many ways, I still struggle with this idea of fully falling in love with the version of myself that I am every single time. Something changed. And I don't know whether it's the ridiculous amount of trauma I have from my autonomy being taken away from me, whether it's the experiences I've had with friends and relationships, whether it's the relationship I've had with paternal family, just my dad, essentially. I don't know what it is, but what I do know is if I continue on this path where I continue to put other people before myself, it wouldn't get me anywhere. Because I deserve to win. I want to win. I will win. And everybody else in the world puts themselves first. There's a beauty in being selfish. There's a beauty in choosing you. There's a beauty in prioritizing you. I'm not that kind of person. I want to become that person. And I'm going to document what that looks like for me. But I'm telling you, I want to become the version of myself who truly, truly, truly puts herself first. I think I saw a video of Harry Styles where he said, love yourself so much that other people just simply love the overflow. And I've been having that ring in my head over and over and over, because I really give myself scraps when it comes to loving myself and pouring into myself. And it will surprise you, because if you guys see how I present online, you might oftentimes think that. I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. So yesterday, me and my friend went to walk across Manhattan for 6 hours. And throughout the walk, my feet were hurting. I was so tired. My feet were hurting. I was so tired. I was exhausted. It was a long walk. But I knew she wasn't feeling too well. But also, like, I knew it was it was a really hard experience. The entire time, all I kept thinking of was smile, be happy, jump, laugh, Even at the brink of when I was exhausted, I still had a flipping smile on my face, because one thing about me is I will carry that smile no matter what. And I take that energy into relationships, and I take that energy into life and into work and into so many other things. And sometimes I never get to be the person. And sometimes I never get to be the person who is able to just sulk and have people take care of her. And I want that for me. But for me to get that, I know for a fact that I need to fully own who I am and not give a flying fudge about anybody else. I want to win so badly. And I will win. It's only a matter of time. I do not want a small life. We don't want a small lives. If you're watching this, you don't want a small life. We want a life that's big and bountiful and amazing and incredible. We want all these things for ourselves, and we're going to get it. So if you're just like me and you're looking at this 6-month mark of life and you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you need to start a fresh start, whatever it is, you're okay to do it. We're doing it. I'm starting over. You're starting over. Or if you're already killing it this year, hey, shake that ass, live it up. We're proud of you. But either way, I think June, which is also my birthday month, which is also Pride Month, is the best time for you to be feeling new emotions, new feelings. And it's the moment of truth. Figure out what's working, figure out what's not working, figure out what you can do to change it, figure out how you can improve the rest of this year. And so by the time December rolls around, we're like in such a different space, and we can come on here and talk about it, because I'll be coming back on here in December to tell you guys about the 12-month update and how I'm doing. And hopefully between now and then, something has drastically changed. Not hopefully, something would have drastically changed in my life, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. But yeah, that is today's episode. It's my birthday month, June 25, 2026. I turned 29. I still can't believe I'm turning 29. I was telling someone the other day that for my 29th birthday, I always wanted to go on a vacation. In my head, this is how I plan my birthdays. So 23, I had like a birthday dinner. 24, I forget what I did. 25, I did a big party, huge party. 26, I did a girls trip. 27, I did a solo trip. 28, I had COVID. 29, I wanted to do a vacation. And 30, I wanted to do a big party. Now, 29, vacation. I did not plan this with a bae in mind, by the way. I just always wanted to go somewhere with someone who I was either fudging or like I was in love with, just to have a good time. Like, I feel like vacations are so different because you have dedicated fudge every night. Like, that's what I wanted for my 29th birthday. I wanted to be able to go somewhere, probably tropical island, and just fudge anytime I wanted. If this person, like, well, it could be a fudge buddy, it could have been someone who I was loving, I didn't care, right? But this year, I don't know what my 29th birthday is going to look like, because things are so in limbo with me about where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing. And this is why I really like, oh my God, I really do need structure. So I'm going to be using this forum. Ew, that sounds like such a Nigerian mother thing to say. But I'm ideally thinking of getting some structure back into my life, whether that's like getting a 1-bedroom apartment, getting an apartment, a house, something, and just having a space that I can call my own. And then from there, still dreaming all these dreams. But we'll see. If you guys are not the first to know, then the vlog channel might be the first to know when I announce it. I don't know. But things are happening in the best way, and growth is definitely not always this beautiful thing they make it out to be. Like, whenever I think of growth, I think of like the flower that opens up. For me, growth is like, it's like shitting. that hard shit that just needs to come outside of your butt. Like that hard, constipated. That growth is when it's like that process where it's like when your asshole is like it's swelling out, it's opening, and it's like it's almost there, and it finally goes and it falls into the water, and it kisses you. The water kisses your cheek a little bit. That's growth to me. That release you get at the end of it when that poop is out and you can wash your ass or wipe your ass. You should all really be washing your ass, and you feel like, oh, it's done, and then let's poop again another time. So yeah, guys, that's the end of my Suicidal the podcast with Sophie, aka the motherfucking Odditty. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what percentage you gave the first 6 months of 2026. Again, mine is 45%. What is yours? And I would be chatting with you guys next week. I love you very much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.